You found it. It's The Real News with your host, David Knight.
Welcome back to Real News. I'm David Knight, and we're talking to Dr. Jerome Corsi. He's the head of InfoWars Washington, D.C. Bureau, and he's done some amazing, groundbreaking research on a number of issues exposing things that are going on in Washington, and we were just talking about a couple of those. He exposed the unconstitutional, unlawful funding of Obamacare by Barack Obama by stealing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's the money that was supposed to go to investors. He called it a net asset sweep, and that was found to be unconstitutional, unlawful by a court. It was Dr. Corsi's exposing of that is now, we've seen some information coming out of the White House referring to stopping that funding, and now Dr. Corsi just said in the last segment we were talking to him that it looks like that may be quietly ended at the end of this year. Of course, the Attorney General could have stopped it by just stopping the appeal of that judge's decision, saying that it was unconstitutional and unlawful. But he's also run a series talking about the corruption of Senator Bob Corker, who has now just announced that he's not going to be running for re-election. I think that had a lot to do with it. So we're going to talk to him about his newest series where he's exposing the new Obama Foundation. Will the Trump administration hold the Obama Foundation accountable to the law? That is the question. So Dr. Corsi is going to explain that and break that down to us real quickly. Before we go back to Dr. Corsi, I just want to remind you of a couple of sales that we have. We have BrainForce, 50% off, the deepest discount we've ever had on BrainForce at InfoWarsStore.com. Also, we have the Alexa Pure Pro water filter and the Alexa Pure Breeze air filter. Both of those are 20% off. We have InfoWars Life Secret 12. That's our vitamin B12 formulation. That's 40% off. And at checkout, you can get 20% off InfoWars Wake Up America coffee. Either blend, Patriot Blend or Immune Support Blend. Just enter the code WAKEUP, and you can get Wake Up America coffee 20% off at checkout when you enter that code WAKEUP. Dr. Corsi, tell us about your latest series on the Obama Foundation, because you started this series, and of course we had all this news about the shooting, and it kind of got a backseat to every bit of news kind of got a backseat to the shooting that happened in Vegas. But break this down. You've had a series of 3 articles going in depth into this new ploy that we have here by the political left that's going to be centered around, very similar to the power that the Clinton Foundation had. But tell us about your research on the Obama Foundation.
Well, the Barack Obama Foundation was set up very much like the Clinton Foundation was set up. It's a vehicle where Obama believes he can raise millions and millions of dollars, but the problem is they're following the same shady path. It was set up, the foundation was created for the presidential library. It's going to go up in Hyde Park, Illinois. And suddenly, Barack Obama, on his own authority, without any IRS determination letter or approval, has decided that he can, for instance, bring in a program from the White House, My Brother's Keeper, and raise money for it on a tax-deferred basis. Now, that's completely without IRS approval, and it completely violates the laws. He's also got a very small...
Kind of like his funding of Obamacare, right? He doesn't care about the laws, right? Yeah.
The same with the Foundation. They don't care about the laws. And I'm still very disappointed that our Attorney General, who I've had great respect for over the years, Jeff Sessions, is not actively investigating both the Clinton Foundation and the Obama Foundation. Because if you can really violate charity laws, get a small accounting firm that's been under professional rebukes for its sloppiness in the past, and have it certify that this is a foundation that deserves tax-exempt status on Barack Obama's own authority without following the laws of the IRS. The Trump administration doesn't hold Obama to do this. We're going to have the same kind of scam, the same kind of pay-to-play, the same kind of influence peddling, the same kind of inurement using the foundation for personal wealth that we saw with the Clintons. And this is
we got to nip this in the bud as it's getting started, because once these things get established, it becomes ever more difficult to get control of them. And if we don't have, even with the Trump administration, even with a Republican attorney general, if they won't go after these people that are trying to politically assassinate them, clearly they're trying to overthrow the election. They're doing everything they can to take out President Trump, still pushing this phony Russian narrative loading up this investigation with Mueller and his Democrat crony friends and everything, if they won't defend themselves against these people, I mean, they might be taken out of office, but certainly we're going to be straddled with something like the Clinton Foundation, only maybe much larger.
We're setting a precedent here for certainly every Democratic president. And who knows which of the Democratic congressmen leaving office are going to set up their own foundations. This foundation scam is a new way for Democrats to bilk the American public and worldwide, institutions, corporations. Bill Gates Foundation has illegally given to the Clinton Foundation. They should be held responsible for that. There are laws against it in terms of not following the rules of getting IRS approval, doing accurate accounting. The Clinton Foundation is nothing but a vast criminal conspiracy. And I see the Obama Foundation's going down the same path.
And it's amazing how much has come out about the Clinton Foundation. You're talking about it being a vast criminal conspiracy. It is. And there's been a lot of research done by you, done by others. It's very clearly documented. And the fact that the Trump administration and Attorney General Sessions would not do anything about that and then would allow something else to, like this Obama Foundation, to basically in parallel recreate all that is absolutely amazing. It's just absolutely amazing that they won't do anything, even to save their own political lives.
And it starts out, both of them, that they're going to create a presidential library. Well, presidential library that Bill Clinton has a garden on the top of it. It's got a residence for him and his wife when they are in Little Rock. It violated many of the regulations with regards to the archives and how you're supposed to really allocate space and do the accounting to be able to take tax deductions for the presidential archives. And I see the Obama administration is going to be the same kind of travesty. He's going to build some kind of a library or other that will be a monument to themselves, maybe with living quarters in it, who knows, and then raise money for all these other purposes that he self-appoints the Obama Foundation to do. And that's completely in violation of all the charitable laws on the books, both federal and state. And nobody holds either the Clintons or the Obamas accountable.
You're talking about that big library they have with the Clinton Foundation. Of course, they're proud of the fact that they're going to spend $500 million on this Obama library in Chicago. And they're talking about the fact Michelle said, I want to have a slope there so kids will have a place where they can go sledding. And it's like, it is really literally the slippery slope. I think that is going to be the best visual that we have there. When we're looking at the corruption, too, and, of course, the vast amount of money that the Clintons would make giving speeches after Bill Clinton left the presidency, we're seeing Obama get paid even more money. We had H.L. Mencken say, an election is an advanced auction of stolen goods. Well, it looks like they've got another angle on this. they can have a quid pro quo, a pay to play or whatever, and they can take the money after they retire, because that's clearly what's happening with these speeches. And yet they get all this taxpayer money for protection, for travel, for their office expenses. It's unbelievable how these people are stealing. It's open crime that's being committed, and nothing is being done about it.
Right. I mean, you're going to start to see Obama charge, over $500,000 for a speech. That's clearly some kind of a payoff. I mean, yes. No speech is worth $500,000. I mean, you speak for 40 minutes, you get paid $500,000. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we never see these transcripts, these words of wisdom that are so valuable. They never see the light of day, because it would be a joke if people looked at this and said he got paid $500,000 for that. It's so they never publish the transcripts.
When WikiLeaks leaked the Goldman Sachs speeches that Hillary, got paid like $250,000 each speech, they were very detrimental to her campaign, because it showed the Democrats, which are in the back pocket of Wall Street. People forget today how democratic Wall Street has become and how globalist, and the globalist Obamas and Clintons are going to be able to cash in with their foundations, with both grants and with speaking opportunities. But again, it's not going to be by the law. The law requires IRS approval. The IRS has become politicized under Obama. The Trump administration has done nothing to fire people within the IRS who were responsible for the Tea Party scandal, not granting tax deferred status to Tea Party groups. Yet, the Barack Obama Foundation is going to be allowed to run like the Clinton Foundation without adequate accounting, without adequate IRS supervision, and not following the laws.
Well, you've done great research, Dr. Jerome Corsi, and again, he is InfoWars Washington, D.C. News Bureau Chief, and he has exposed in a series of articles the groundbreaking illegal funding of Obamacare, also the corruption of a senator who is now not running for re-election. Let's hope that the same thing happens with the exposure of the Obama Foundation, this new monster in the cage.
Donald J. Trump is now president of the United States. Whenever you want to have a debate with a fake liberal, you always resort to violence.
We need to wake people up.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.